Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful experience that we put together for all of you. What up, YouTube family? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure that you subscribe before you leave on this channel in this phase of my life, because I've been on YouTube for a long time. I currently talk about spirituality, wellness, and business, and I hope you enjoy. This video is going to be a recap of the Rooted Visionary Experience, an event that I had a few weeks ago in New York City, in Washington Heights. It was absolutely amazing. The event was really a way to help women and men, because we did have men in attendance as well, just remove stagnant energy, clear their energy, center themselves, ground themselves before even putting your vision board together, which I think is so important, because the energy that you are in when you put your board together for the year is definitely going to impact the things that you manifest and the things that you call in. So I really wanted to create a space where people can just come and sort of like do the pre-work to even putting your vision board together, which is even more impactful than putting the board together. So the event was broken up into two big parts. The first half of the event was really dedicated to honoring our ancestors and really understanding the importance of honoring our ancestors, connecting with our ancestors because of the wisdom that they have for us, especially when we're envisioning the future. And not only that, they really help us get rooted, right? So that was the rooted part of the event. And then the visionary part was really creating space for you to dream into the life that you want to call in, but also understanding what's getting in the way of, you know, you getting those things. Like, what are the blockages? So that was like the visionary part of the event. That's why it was called Rooted Visionary. And every single part of this event was done with a lot of intention. So as you can see here, I'm going to start sharing like photos and clips and footages from the experience. So for those of you that couldn't join us, you could kind of feel that you were there. So as soon as you arrived to the venue, we had a check-in station. So obviously you check in, you get your name tag, and we had an energy bar, which was really cool. I could not use different resins or incense in the space because it would trigger the fire alarms. So I really had to get creative and come up with a different way to still help people like clear their energy, ground their energy, etc., without triggering the alarms, because I couldn't use like incense or anything like that. So I created some custom aura mist here for the event. And the first one was the clearing aura mist. So this was really to clear your aura, clear your energy as you enter the sacred space. The next one is the Rooted Aura Mist, and this was to ground your energy. So obviously a lot of the elements and essential oils that this clearing mist has is to clear your energy. The elements of this is to ground yourself, to root yourself. So there's, you know, a lot of essential oils that are really to ground your energy, like cedar wood, things like that, grounding elements to support that. And then the last one was the Visionary Aura Mist, and then this was to help you open up your third eye. And so I really loved having that little element so that people can choose kind of like what they needed at the moment and take care of themselves. We also had the energy bar available throughout the event so that people can come kind of like refresh. And then during the sound bath meditations, the volunteers were also like going around spraying the room with the energy. So like aromatherapy was a really, really big part of the event. We also had like herbal wax melts going on that were like infused with different essential oils and herbs to help support the energy of the space, which I also loved. And I can actually link the wax melts in the comments below if you guys are interested, as well as like the warmer that I use. And we also had some diffusers going on with different essential oils that also supported the space. These I made myself, so can't link that for you, but I am getting some requests to like make these and sell them. So I don't know what that's gonna be about, but let's see. So that was that. So you come into the space. We had a beautiful charcuterie set up by Brie on the Cheeseman. She's an incredible entrepreneur based out of New York who does like charcuterie boards and grazing tables. That's what we had. We had a beautiful grazing table that she provided and created for us. And I'm a snacker, and I also, if you know me, I feel like charcuterie is like so on brand for me, for sure. Like it's so synonymous with me and my what I'm about, I feel like, because I love to snack and I love to host and I love to like bring people together. So that's why I love charcuterie, because it's such a great, you know. So I wanted to have like something that people can snack on when they arrived, because the event started like at 11, so it was kind of like brunch, but also something that they could snack on throughout the day to like keep them grounded as well. So she did like a brunch grazing table that had like all different kinds of like amazing and delicious cheeses and spreads, but also like some brunch items like waffles and things like that. So that was cool. And then we had an ancestor table dedicated to the ancestors. So people were encouraged to bring a photo of an ancestor that they wanted to honor. And we had a beautiful community ancestor altar set up that had photos that everyone brought of their ancestors. And then we also honored 3 community ancestors that were very pivotal to the Washington Heights area for their work that they did in the community. I really wanted to bring them and honor them in the space, because I think when we think of the impact that we can make in our community, like we always think that we need to have all these things in order to create impact where we live, or we need to like have a certain amount of followers in this day and age, or we need to have like a certain amount of money, or we need to just like have a certain amount of access or know X amount of people. And it's like these people in the community didn't have any of those things. They just had a passion for helping the community, and you know, there's streets named after them in Washington Heights. One of them has even a post office named after her. So you know, I really wanted to bring that energy into the space to remind people that there's so much that you can do for your community, that you don't need to, you know, have all these prerequisites in order to like be for your community and help your community. And I really like want to see a world where we go back to like community that's rooted in the way that like our family back in the day, or even our ancestors, used to commune. So because everything's like so individual now, you know. We had opening remarks. We all went around calling in like ancestors that we wanted to bring into the space, and that was really beautiful. Like everyone went around and said the name of an ancestor. There was a lot of matriarchs in the room, just absolutely beautiful. And then we started off with a guided ancestral meditation that was led by yours truly. I was so honored to be able to lead you all. I love doing visualizations and guided journeys. I have a very active like imagination, so just being able to create like an opportunity for you to connect with an ancestor, whether you feel like, oh, I don't know like if I can see anything, I don't know if I could tap in, I don't know if I'm gonna see anything. Like it was really beautiful to hear like all of the wisdom that you all received from your guided meditation journeys. And even for the people who didn't ultimately see anything because their bodies were just telling them to rest and they were going in and out of sleep, I love that for you. I feel like as Black and brown women, we often have to like give ourselves permission to rest, and I'm just really honored that this event created a space for you to just be. And if you wanted to go to sleep, and I also encourage that, I'm like, if you don't want to listen to this meditation and you just want to like zone out, do your thing. So Mecca, who's an incredible sound bath practitioner out of Chicago and who I worked with when I lived in Chicago, she was facilitating a sound bath as well. So as I was guiding the meditation, she was playing some instruments, and then after the meditation, she, you know, did an ancestral sound bath, and that was just like amazing. It was like so beautiful to see everyone just like taking it in. And then after that, everyone was given the opportunity to like journal about what came up for them. We also created different breakout groups so that people could discuss with one another like the things that were coming up for them as well. I think that's really impactful when you gather in like small intimate groups and share and you know, work on that throat chakra for sure. So that was pretty amazing. And then it was lunchtime. We had lunch that was catered by Next Stop Vegan, and everyone enjoyed that. It's Caribbean vegan food. I really wanted to have like a light food on hand because the day was going to be like, it was a lot happening. We also had a tea bar that had some artisanal teas all the way from Sperryville, Virginia, created by actually one of my teachers. For those of you that don't know, I'm working on becoming a community herbalist this year. I'll share more about that like in a future podcast episode or something. So that was awesome. So we had 3 teas to support everyone throughout the event that they could drink. We had a tea for grounding that was like a dandelion chai tea. We had a tea for opening up your heart that was like a tulsi and rose tea. And then we had a tea for like opening up your third eye, but also like just like kind of like cultivating that inner peace. And that was a nymph of the night tea, and everyone loved the teas, which I'm so happy. That made me really happy. Oh, we also had another altar that was dedicated to Yemaya. If you're not familiar with Yemaya, she is an Orisha of the African traditional religion pantheon, and her energy is all about nurturing. It's mothering energy. You know, she's a caretaker, she's a mother, she has just that beautiful like mothering energy, and I really wanted to honor her and also bring that energy into the space because I knew that there was going to be a lot of releasing going on, a lot of vulnerability, and so I wanted the women to feel her presence in the space and to feel that it was an authentic space for you to be vulnerable and that you were going to be like nurtured and taken care of. As I go deeper down my spiritual journey, I just love learning about the different religions and traditions and practices of our ancestors. And I've always been fascinated growing up by like Greek goddesses, and so to know that like we have our own and they have their own energy and like magic, it's just so dope. So I love being able to bring her into the space to again bring that mothering energy and support everyone there. After lunch, we had a fireside chat with myself and Josie, who is a former therapist. We really wanted to give everyone like a in-depth look at what the death and rebirth process looks like, because for those of you that don't know, I started doing these vision board workshops and these events like 7 years ago this year, and I feel like people have seen me like grow and evolve so much. And also even like the energy of my events have grown and evolved so much. Like my first workshop compared to that event that I had was like a completely different vibe and energy. And so we really wanted to give people kind of like a closer look at like, what does it look like to pivot? What does it look like to outgrow people?
Like, how do we get here? Who did you have to become? When we take it a step further, who did you have to become to be able to birth this experience?
Right, like this is what I want to hear, but also I kind of need it right now, right? Man, I have had to grieve a lot of past versions of myself. I'm like already getting emotional just thinking about it because, you know, I'm like, but why me though? Like, and why do I have to do this publicly? You know, like if I didn't accidentally start being on the internet talking about curly hair, right, and having this public part of my life, it's like I could just go through all these changes and nobody knows. Like nobody would have to know, but I always felt like a responsibility to you all to be like honest, you know? And it's like, it's been hard because the last 7 years have really felt like this big initiation that I didn't sign up for and I didn't even know that I was going through until like you actually brought it up and you're like, you know, it's been 7 years since the first one, and I was like, oh my God, and 7 is the number of completion. So I feel like my initiation is over, thank God. But also it's like I knew that I had to go through that to be able to be up here in full transparency and authenticity and vulnerability, because the lessons that I learned, I didn't read in a book. I didn't, you know, hear it from a teacher and I'm regurgitating. It's like I really went through this shit. I really went through these experiences, and it's like my qualifications are my life experiences, right? Like I got certified in life in the last 7 years, and to have constantly be releasing, like, I'm not the same person that I was this morning, and to get comfortable with that, because I would try to hold on so badly to like these different versions of myself and these versions of my life, and then the pain and the suffering that comes with that. Like, so yeah, I have died and been reborn through fire over and over and over in the last 7 years to be here in this moment, and I'm grateful, but fuck. I don't resonate with the word influencer. That version of me I laid her to rest. And I can't even sit here and be like, well, I'm this now, because I'm ever changing. All I know is that I'm just Ala. And I'm not going to be the same Ala next year. And as long as you guys are down for the journey, whatever that looks like, you know, I could become a cave woman next year and be like, I'm off the grid. If y'all want to come see me, y'all are going to have to come to the mountains in Virginia. Like, you know, and if y'all are down for that, then cool. If not, then, you know, our journey might end here. And I wish you all the best. But, like, I'm going to keep going, because I can't stop and be like, well, let me make you like this version of me. Like, I'm not doing that anymore. It's exhausting.
Right, like, and the part of the reason why I asked that question, you know, are you an influencer, is because I know you mentioned that, you know, part of that role lent itself really well to people pleasing, and I would venture to say that that is not who you are anymore. So talk us through, like, from the moment that you're like, oh shit, you know, whatever, maybe not influencers, maybe not the right term, but this way that I'm putting out my medicine is not working, to, oh my goodness, of course, this is the role that I held, because it played so beautifully to some of these shadows, to the, oh, I'm done with that, right? Like, that is a journey, right? So can you talk us through, like, what was that moment of, like, I can't do this anymore, I'm done with that?
Yeah, it was like exhausted all the time, because I felt like I was always like, I got tired of caretaking. And it was such like a part of my life, and it was my factory setting, that I didn't know to the extent that I was caretaking. Until like all this stuff started happening to me, and I'm like, why does this keep happening to me? Like, what is the pattern here? I can't see it, right? And so I started to kind of like analyze my life, analyze the people around me, analyze how I was showing up everywhere, even online, and I'm like, well, I'm always like overgiving. And I'm like, where did that come from? So I went back, right? And I'm thinking about my mom and the way that I grew up. And for those of you that are not familiar with my story, my mom is, I feel like, you know, everyone that was in attendance really got to experience like a more intimate side of me, because I felt more comfortable like opening up in such an intimate setting. I find myself kind of like holding back on social media, because it just doesn't feel like an intimate space to me anymore. And so I just felt really comfortable with like being in my truth in this space. And I'm so happy to hear that the fireside chat was really helpful for a lot of you. And I'm also very grateful to Josie for facilitating and creating a space for me to like show up in my truth. And we did like a Q&A, and then after that everyone went into breakout groups to discuss some of the prevalent themes that were coming up and the questions that people were asking Josie and myself, as well as like the themes that kind of came up in the overall fireside chat. And again, like so powerful and helpful for you to like release and use your throat chakra, and I'm just like really happy to hear that people felt safe to open up and just be authentic and be vulnerable. It's like so helpful. And then after that, Mecca led us into an incredible visionary sound bath. I wish that we would have had more time to extend that sound bath, because it was so good.
As we're going in, thinking about whatever you created with your intention, whatever you created in regards to what you wanted to breathe in, know that it's possible, and allow
wish we had more time together, but I'm looking forward to more experiences like this with all of you. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful experience that we put together for all of you. Thank you so much love. Please, peace and blessings as you head home. Thank you, everyone. Love you guys so much. Nothing will ever beat seeing Black and brown women like resting and, you know, and being nurtured and being taken care of. Like, for me, that is more of that for us in 2024. I hope that I can continue to have a hand in creating more of those spaces, because it really brought me so much joy to see everyone like resting and just being poured into in that way through the sound bath. And then the event ended, and so the event consisted of like 2 parts. So it was like the in-person event, and then a week after, everyone got access to the online vision board workshop, because I really wanted people to have space to like rest and integrate the information that they were learning. And so getting access to the workshop later then allows you to like then not have to like rush and feel like you have to like do, right? And so the online vision board workshop is really like my framework on how I've been putting together vision boards over the last 14 years, how I've been able to accomplish a lot of the big goals in my life, like starting a hair care brand, starting my businesses, doing a lot of healing. Like, if you've ever looked at my life from what you've seen online and you're like, how does this girl just like, how does she do all these things? Like, I don't understand how she, you know, how does she make 6 figures in her business? How does she know so many incredible people? Like, how has she been able to evolve and pivot and heal and all that stuff? Like, whatever it is that you are wondering about my life, the Good Vibes and Chill Vision Board Workshop is really like everything that I've learned on my personal journey to manifesting my heart's deepest desires with spirit, right? It's a co-creation. So as much as you're taking action, you're also being, right? As much as you're doing, you're also being. And so it's that beautiful, delicate balance. So for those of you who did not get to go to the event, but you are interested in doing your own vision board workshop, I highly recommend that you purchase the Vision Board Workshop online. It is one of my most affordable offerings. It's a way for you to really grasp and understand more about this work. And one of my favorite things about the Vision Board Workshop is that there's like a whole section on how do you specifically manifest according to your energetic blueprint, because we all have our own energy and we all manifest differently according to that energy. And if you're not clear on how your energy works, then you're not clear on how you manifest according to your energetic type. So I literally break down your energetic type. We go into human design. I show you how to pull up your chart. I show you what to look for. I explain to you what certain things mean and how that impacts the way that you manifest, therefore impacting the way that you actually put your vision board together. Like, I break it down to that extent because it matters. And then I also discuss your environment and really giving you more clarity on, is your environment actually conducive to the way that you manifest? And when I talk about environment, I don't just mean your home environment. I'm talking about your energetic environment as well. Is it conducive to the way that you manifest specifically, right? Because again, going back to your energetic blueprint, if you have gotten now clarity on how you manifest, what your manifestation style is, well, again, is your environment conducive to you even operating in that style? You moving how you're moving. You know, it's gonna make things just a little bit harder to manifest if you're moving in a way that is not conducive to the way that your energy naturally flows. And that's really what your environment is. It's like, this is the way that you just feeling your best, you're vibing your highest. This is when you're just like at your optimal state in this specific environment. And then when you're in that specific environment, if you move in this specific way, that is your energetic blueprint, you're just gonna experience a life of so much flow. So that whole module on human design is really just a breakdown on how you can manifest with more flow. it's life-changing. I know it's been life-changing for me. Every time I teach it, people are just like, oh my God, thank you for this information. And also I love the way that you break it down. So there's that. And then I take you through my whole framework. How do you actually brain dump all the things that you want to manifest? How do you organize them? How do you organize your goals? How do you actually break down your goals so that they happen, especially those big goals that seem like unattainable, like those big dreams and desires that the universe puts in our hearts, that we're like, okay, I know that I have this dream and I know it's in my heart, but how the hell am I gonna get there? What steps do I take? But not only what steps, like what kind of like energy do I need to be in? What kind of faith do I need to have? So breaking all that down, breaking all the goals down, and also talking about, again, bringing it back to then your energy so that you can make sure that that's also in alignment. And then I break down my whole entire framework for how I put vision boards together. And I actually have my vision board from last year here, my old vision boards. And I don't really be liking to share my vision boards on the internet too much like that because they're very private and sacred to me. But I really share, this is the one from 2020. I really share how I put my boards together, how I make them look so pretty, because they really be pretty. They be so cute. I'm just gonna show it real quick. And I literally break all that down. Like I literally take you to the store with me. Like I took my camera to the store to show you how I go shopping for the stuff. I have a whole list on Amazon for what you need. So I really just make it as easy for you as possible to put this vision board together. The whole course is self-paced. You can have the video going on in the background as you're putting your board together. I got you with everything that you need. I've been teaching this now for 7 years and just perfecting and updating the material over time as I go deeper on my journey. So I hope that you all enjoy it. The class is available right now. And you know, because I really love my YouTube fam and I'm really committed to this platform this year, and I'm just so grateful for the way that y'all show up for me here and that y'all are really engaged. If you use, I'm gonna have a special discount code just for YouTube that you can use anytime. Like it's not gonna expire. It's always gonna be available, and it's gonna be for the people that I know that be watching me, because you had to have made it this far into the video to know that this code is available. And even if you've taken my vision board workshops in the past, you're definitely going to want to purchase this updated version of it because of specifically for the human design stuff. I also updated the whole workbook as well, so there's like new updates that have been made on there. I really hope you enjoy it. And yeah, so the discount code is going to be, what are we gonna make the discount code? The discount code is gonna be YouTube fam. So if you use the discount code at checkout, YouTube fam, you're gonna get the entire workshop for $111. Okay, like this workshop is so good. Do you understand? Do you understand? Like I'm gonna include some like testimonials and things like that. Just, yeah, so good. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this little like vlog style of my event. I'm like, dang, I haven't posted a video on YouTube almost the whole month, so I wanted to put something together for you guys, and I hope that you enjoyed this. The next thing that I'm going to be working on is the podcast is coming back, which I'm so excited. So season 2 of the Work Your Magic podcast is coming back. As we lead up to the podcast, I'm going to be recapping some of the most popular episodes from season 1, so stay tuned for that. I'll be uploading some of the videos on YouTube and then recapping it on my blog as well. So that's what we're going to get into. And then the Vecina Network. So I'm putting together a network where we can come together in fellowship, in community, to really process what we're going through individually and as a collective, and that we can learn and grow from each other, and most importantly, like have a resource for one another as we navigate just life, period. And a lot of times it's like I don't really talk about stuff until I put it together, and then like I have like a whole marketing plan when I launch something. And for the first time, I'm allowing myself not to bring that energy into this, because I know that so much of what the network is like we're gonna be co-creating it together. And as much as I want to tap into my inner Virgo and be like, tap, 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 tap. Like, this is not that. And this is really just about like, show up and the magic is gonna happen. So stay tuned for the Messina Network and your opportunity to join and be in fellowship monthly with like-minded women who are really about it. Like, I really just have nothing else to say. Like, if you've been following me and my work for a long time, you know that when I create something, baby, it's top tier. You know, I really I don't know how to half-ass anything. And this space is going to be very special. This network is going to be really, really dope. And I just need to get started. I'm not going to keep delaying it because I want everything to be perfect. I think the calling is more important than the perfection at this moment. And I know how many of you are just looking for community and fellowship that is not on social media. It's like, can we get together outside of social media, whether it's on a platform outside of, you know, the popular social media channels, but also can we get together in person? So that is coming very, very soon. Thank you so much for the love. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.